Welcome back to Soda City Live. As we continue to focus on Mental Health Awareness Month, we want to talk about some resources available to various groups of people. And with Memorial Day coming up this weekend, we want to focus on our local military community and what support looks like for our veterans and their families. So joining me today with the South Carolina Department of Veterans Affairs, PD Regional Integration Officer Jade Berkeley, and Jennifer Wolf, who's Behavioral Health Specialist with the SC Army National Guard. Thank you so much both for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thanks
yeah,
for having us.
This is certainly a very important issue in our community. Let's talk a little bit about the problem so we can look at, just the scope of this. So many people who have served, oftentimes they'll come back in a tough spot, a different place, but there are resources available.
Absolutely. Well, what we have to do is to definitely decrease the stigma associated with getting mental health care and getting mental health services. So a lot of times with veterans, seeking help is affiliated with not being strong, not being able to handle. It's critical though, they're human no matter what. And so we have streamlined the process as part of the Service Member Family Care Program with the Behavioral Health Program, where we actually go to veterans. We are confidential, we're free at no cost, and there's several mental health resources that are out there, but the South Carolina National Guard is leading the way really in those behavioral health and that support for veterans and the easy access to care.
Jennifer, you make such a great point, when it comes to stigma, and oftentimes people thinking that it's weakness reaching out for help, but in fact it's probably the strongest thing you can do.
Absolutely.
There definitely is strength in vulnerability and opening up and being able to receive the care that you need to make you even stronger.
Yes.
So that's an important message to get out. And some of the issues that they're often facing, somebody who's been through any sort of traumatic incident or whatnot, you might have different things like PTSD or what does that kind of look like typically?
Right. Well, there's definitely a misconception that people that are exposed to traumatic events are going to develop PTSD. What's important, in fact, many folks, including veterans, do not. They may have acute traumatic stress or post-traumatic stress. What's most important is that they get the care and the support efficiently and promptly. That's the key, because it's physiological in the body, and so many things are more permanent in nature, but it can be managed, and that's the key. So you may see that from the trauma standpoint, you may see some post-traumatic stress. Some of the other common symptoms are anger issues. Of course, it's going to affect relationships. You may see pre-deployment reintegration. And I do want to mention also that not just service members, but families.
Right.
It's difficult. It's difficult, the sacrifice that is made, and they do it willingly. It's simply their job. But there's a conglomerate of mental health issues that they can get support for.
And Jade, just so many resources are available that you may not even know about. The VA doing just a ton of work, and there's a whole variety of treatments, interventions, programs. Why don't you describe some of those?
Absolutely. So what we do at the South Carolina Department of Veterans Affairs is try to highlight those programs that are available. So we do partner with Jennifer's agency, which is the SMFC. We partner with Emory Health, who has a fabulous veterans health program to support any veteran at any stage of their post-military career. It doesn't matter what type of discharge that they have, which is really important because some programs do have that as a barrier to getting into care, but Emory doesn't. We also partner with Dorn Health VA, and 988 is another number that we promote heavily for the crisis hotline in order to make sure our veterans know that there's help available for them around the clock.
Yeah, all very important resources. It's important, I think, for veterans, those who are going through a difficult time, to understand that there is help available and there is support all around. Because oftentimes, they can feel very isolating, or they feel like their problems are so, I guess, known only to them. As you open up, you realize that there is a lot of resources and a lot of support available.
Right. And I do want to mention that crises and problems and what have you don't usually come all the time between 9 to 5. So the behavioral health program does have a 24-hour behavioral health care line that somebody can access, whether it's 6 in the morning, 2 in the morning, if you need the help. And that can be anything from crisis management to, hey, I don't know what's going on with me and I just need that support.
Incredible.
We can all use that.
Incredible,
So,
yeah.
yes.
Well, thank you so much for all that you do for our nation's veterans. We appreciate it, and thanks for coming on and letting people
Sure.
know what
Thanks for having
resources
us.
are available.
Yep.
Thank you. All right, plenty more Soda City Live coming up after the break. Stay with us.